It's LIN live with Spank and Sam. It's a show for everyone, boy, woman, girl, and man. So tune in on Facebook and YouTube. Guaranteed to make you laugh and make you feel good. Yeah, it's the LIN live show with Spank and Sam. It's the LIN live show with Spank and Sam. It's the LIN live show with Spank and Sam. It's the LIN live show with Spank and Sam.
Man, welcome back. We are here for season 2.
Season dos. I think that's how you say it in Spanish.
Dos.
Dos.
Season 2. Man, I am excited to be back with my brother Samuel. Wait, that other way around. Sam Anthony.
Samuel Sam Anthony. I don't have a really cool nickname, so I picked Sam.
That's gonna be our goal for this year, bro. We gonna get you a nickname. Maybe we put one in the like have people vote on it.
I think it would be cool. I have a few. Some people call me Sam Bino.
Sam.
Of course, Sam I am. Sam Pellegrino. I think that's it. I've gotten low budget John Legend before. Any kind of like light skinned-ish, artist who has a fro. That's me. That's all I get.
Okay. I mean, now you can do like Jenadea. Is that what his name is?
Did I get to? Dude.
Fashion style,
Yeah, I could maybe like make money impersonating him too. Like
You could, definitely could. But yeah, I'm excited to be back, man. It's just really, really, really a good time to come back, especially on this day of all days, the day of Saint Valentine.
Love.
A good day that was turned from bad. It was a bad day that wasn't good.
Yeah, it was. And look at y'all making it good. I've seen like some really nice couples pictures today.
I saw a couple pictures. I didn't know they were couples. I was like, oh, that's news.
Surprise.
Let's see if they put them couple pictures up tomorrow. They might just be for one day, or see if they're the same tomorrow.
It depends on how good.
Tomorrow.
If the gifts were good, they going down. Yep, today. Go to buy.
I saw this post on Facebook. There's like the mains get 14, the sides get 15.
But who gets the 13?
Somebody.
Maybe that's like the sugar mamas or something.
The future gets. But we don't condone that type of action on this show. We don't. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying. If you do that, like, get your life right.
Please do. Celebrate this day with those you love, family members, friends, pets, tacos, whoever you love. Celebrate with.
I love tacos. I love.
Me too.
Just fair warning. I have a new cat. I have a daughter. I'm a cat dad now. So if y'all hear her screaming or you see her jump in the shot, just pretend like you don't see her.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that could be our mascot. We need a mascot. your cat. Your cat is our mascot.
She's already vain. She likes to just do things and be in shot. See, shut up.
I agree. Look, a cat mask got to be good. We can sell merch with the cat's face on it.
True.
And you're the cat's owner, so you can't we can't be sued for
True. I own all the rights to her likeness.
You do. Let's talk about this offline.
To make money. But yeah, it's been a great day. Great Valentine's Day. We had church today. I attended the LIN services, which was comprised of Zion and Bolingbrook and Orlando, and I think those are the only locations that was together today.
Yeah,
and we heard the story of the McNeelys.
Yeah, so if you all get a chance, please go back and watch that. I got a chance to jump in there on that broadcast and also the Liberty Chicago broadcast with Apostle Latham. So I was church hopping today.
Church hopping.
But within the network, so it's okay.
There's this video that we forgot to play today. I forgot to play because, my bad. So we're gonna play it today just because Apostle Darling worked really hard on this video, and we want to give her shine. So here's the video. Real touching, real touching.
Mm-hmm. That was amazing.
But that was the title of the sermon today, was Light of Love. And it was like not a traditional service. It was like we got to hear the stories of one of our leadership teams in our campuses from our Zion campus. And that's Apostle Bill and Elder Pat McNeely. And yeah, their story is very inspirational for anybody who's looking to be married or are married and looking to last long. That is a great couple to you know, pattern yourselves and gather knowledge from. So check it out. It's on the LIN Facebook page where we are right now. But don't do it right now. Do it after the show.
After the show. And don't forget, subscribe to the Liberty International Network YouTube channel and go and like LIN Live Official on Instagram.
You got it, miss. We got to brush the dust off of it. We getting it back. We trying to remember everything.
Yeah, we had a long break. We've been gone. This feels like that first game, you know, Jordan came back from playing baseball. I believe they lost. And he had on a new jersey. But, you know, there's also a really great Jordan memory of mine that I have that happened on a Valentine's Day. They played the Orlando Magic. And some way, somehow, his jersey got lost. In transit to Orlando. And so on that day, he had to wear the number 12 jersey because that was the only jersey they can get in the stadium that fit him.
Wow.
So for one night only, Jordan wore number 12. They lost that game too. I don't know what's up with Jordan and losing these games, but they lost that game too. So.
Well, I mean, he has a legacy. So, you know, what's one loss amongst a legacy like that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it's, you know, I wouldn't have lost that game, though. I would have been determined, you know. But, you know, if after seeing The Last Dance, I'm sure he took that personally. So
True.
Oh, also, it is Black History Month. And we want to always make sure that we are supporting Black businesses. I don't have anything special to post, but I want you all to please support my brother, Alfonso Spanky Jones, and his company, Fonzie Productions. Make sure that you hit him up for all of like your tech needs. He does everything production. So hit him up, and then also hit up our director, Amina Taylor, Amina's Creations. Hit them up. She's made really dope, one of a kind items. So please check them out.
Super bling.
Whenever you all get a chance. And yeah, I don't have anything special planned or plugged.
Like a podcast or like a blog?
Yes. I don't want to shout myself out. That sounds like, you know.
Out, bro. This is the opportunity.
Check us out, Casually Saved fashion blog, Christian fashion blog. We just relaunched a couple weeks ago. So we're in the move again, and there's some big things coming. We have a few other business owners on here tonight too. So they can shout themselves out too. For a small fee, we're going to charge you all because you all are hosts of this show.
No, we're bartering tonight. We're bartering tonight, Sam. But any shout out to this, they got to pay for.
Gotta pay.
But also, we are Black business owners too because we have merch. Ooh, baby, we got merch.
We got merch. I can't find my merch. It's somewhere around here though.
Fly shirt. He's like, our merch is not fly enough for the premiere. I was just like,
Look, I found this in my closet. This was my old game show I did back in high school. And I lost that game show too. I'm kind of like Jordan tonight. I lost the game.
You got your jersey on, bro. You ain't got your jersey on, so you about to lose this game. But we're going to go ahead and
hang this up
here until we bring our guest on because we really want y'all to get this merch because we really want to do some really cool things for you guys this season. And we need money to do it. So the more merch you buy, the cooler stuff we can do. You know what I'm saying? We want to bring in we want to bring in Beyonce and Jay-Z, and we want to, you know, have them tell their story. You know, but they want some money. You know, it's cool. Like they need money. I'm joking.
Right. I mean, So as of now, we just got whoever we could get. No offense to our guests. I'm sorry. I'm kidding. You all are great. You all are great.
Speaking of our guests, let's go ahead and get into this. Let's see. Who do we want to start with? You pick, Sam. Who do you want to start with?
Okay. This is tough. I want to flip a coin. Do I have a coin? Yes. So heads is one. Heads is one. Tails is the other. Okay. So tails wins. So we're going to bring on all the way from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Joseph and Audrey Johnson. Welcome to the show, y'all. Let me bring them in. Hey, welcome.
You.
Hey, y'all.
What's going on?
What's happening? Welcome to the show. We are so happy to have you guys here.
It's great. Season 2.
Repping Philly. We repping Philly. Philly.
Whoa. None of that game affiliation type stuff. Cut that out. Jeez.
I had to let y'all, reminisce on our convocation moments.
We remember.
Five.
Yeah.
They are members of our Philadelphia West location, pastored by Apostle-elect Early James and Pastor Rhonda James. So we are ecstatic to have them. Felicia, calm that down.
What up?
Philly started already.
You
You already know.
It's gang everywhere we go.
All these gang members, cut it out. So, Sam, who do we have coming next?
All right. So this couple, they're good friends of mine. Joe and Audrey are good friends of mine too. I don't want to make it seem like we're not friends, but they come all the way from the east side of Chicago. And if you know anything about Chicago, you know that's far from everything.
Out of water. They extra cold tonight.
They're by the lake. Let's give it up for Jaques and Alexandria Gilbert.
Yo,
What's happening?
poppin'.
And then
Chi-town. Bring that damn.
Shy City. And they say Shy City. But no, we're excited to have Jaques and Alex. Jaques is one of the worship leaders at our church, and Alex is the leader of the dance team, the Joshua Generation Prophetic Dancers. They're a worshiping couple.
Sometimes.
They stay slaying. And then, Sam, you were supposed to have your wife on tonight, right?
Yeah, she will not be joining us tonight. Boo. But it's all good. We're going to get her on this show.
One day. We working towards it.
We're working towards it. So please buy merch so I can bribe her into coming on the show.
Right. But they were going to be all coupled up, and they was like, Spank, you should bring somebody on with you so you won't be like the seventh wheel. And I was like, I agree. No one needs 7 wheels.
Yeah.
We need 8. So Lowe's with us in spirit, but I went and I got my best friend, the person that keeps me in line, keeps me from doing stupid things. Sam's sister, older sister.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Right.
my second mama.
She's everybody's mama. She mamas everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Jackie Anthony.
Hey, welcome, Jackie.
I'm so excited.
Good to see you. Don't look too happy, Jack.
Hey. But we're just happy to be here. We're representing Team Single over here. You know what I'm saying? Like singles ministry. What? S? There we go.
I don't think that's what y'all do. Pretty sure you just made that up.
There we go. But no, so we were just like the title of tonight's service.
Pastor Spanky.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Yo, blame Apostle Darling. She got me in there all early in the morning. But no, tonight's show is about what's love got to do with it. So we just want to get the stories of these couples. Let's start with Jaques and Alex because this is gonna be fun. How did y'all meet?
since my wife ain't gonna tell the truth, I'm gonna tell the truth. We actually met on Facebook. It was this thing called Men with Locks, and where'd they go? We just by ourselves? I don't know.
We still here. We just
Okay.
We're here with the background, y'all.
Okay. So we were this show called. I mean, this was it
Facebook
page called Men with Locks, and I got a lot of women asking to be my friends, and I had so many women ask to be my friends from that page that I forgot she was my friend, and she posted status up. What?
Go ahead. Just go ahead.
I'm telling the truth, though.
Okay, just go.
And I was like, oh, who is this woman? So I checked her page. I like to feel her pictures. Baby, why you keep doing that? That's how I went. I like to feel her pictures. Mm-hmm. And she slid in my DM and she said, well, since you liking my pics, I might as well introduce myself. And that's how, and that's how we got here.
Okay, Alex, what's your side of the story?
Don't lie.
I'm not lying.
Don't lie. Okay, I'm going to bust you out.
You're not going to bust me out.
Go ahead and lie.
Anywho, so yes, I was a part of a Men with Locks page. So I liked Jaques' photo. I didn't think he was, it was just a photo. And
no, you lying? You didn't think what?
Wait, stop. Be quiet. I'm talking. Wait, baby. And then, so after that, I think we did become friends. I might have requested you. I don't remember. Okay, whatever. And then after that, Jaques was liking a lot of my photos. Like 20 in a row.
You lying?
I'm not lying.
Oh, you lying.
So when somebody does that excessively,
you lying.
Excessively, you like, okay, hey, how are you? So, and that's how that happened. We just struck up a conversation.
No, don't act like you slid in my DM and said, hey, are you?
Jaques.
You were like, well, since you like my
pretty
pictures,
sure I said that, but it wasn't by photos. It was not by photos. It was excessive. So let's just make that.
It was like 3.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, we do not do domestics on the show. Just letting you know.
At all.
Okay. So yeah, that was the gist of it.
Game and admit how it really went. I'm telling the actual truth.
I mean, it's a beautiful story. Like, we appreciate both sides of your stories, and one day we'll get the real truth.
Somebody.
I need the truth, but whatever.
Now you guys' story, Joe and Audrey, you guys' story is a world travel story. It's like y'all started in one.
I wasn't in the Only Locks page. So yeah, it was. I think it was Convocation 2011, 2010. And what's crazy was I wasn't even going to come to Convocation because I was in an accident like 3 months prior. Where I had flipped the truck I was working out of, and I almost died, and I was in the worst physical shape possible, so much pain. But my dad made me come, so I came, and even in pain, somehow I talked myself into playing in the basketball tournament, and we were out there playing. I think we played Philly in one game. It was me, Joe Collins, and CJ. So we playing in the tournament. And Drees caught my attention. She caught my attention, but I didn't say nothing to her. And I was on creep mode, honestly. So low key creep mode, honestly. But got back to Orlando. I was in Orlando at the time. Got back to Orlando. That's when they started uploading all the pictures. So I got tagged. We got tagged in the same picture. And I was like, oh, snap, that's that girl. So like Jaques or like Alex, I slid in her DMs, right? But she kept blowing me off till finally she gave in to the pressure. And 6 years later.
That was the truth. I'll just fill in a few things. When we were playing the basketball game, like he said, he was a creep. So after the game, we was all huddled up, Philly, and we was just talking about how they was playing all the females all hard, because our team was all females, by the way, with the basketball. And we don't play basketball like that, but we just was having fun. And I felt this guy staring at me, and I'm like, I'm not gonna look at him because he's gonna start talking to me. So, and you know, by the way, I was single for 6 years before I met Joe, so I didn't even know how to have no male conversation. So anyway, long story short, he found us on Facebook, and then he hit me up in my DM, and I told him no for about a year and a half. I told him no because when you stay for that long as a default, right? And you just gonna say no anyway because you just used to saying no because it's just no. Like, and so anyway, my cousin, thank God for her, my cousin Carmen, I was on the phone with her the last time he said something. He was like, you know, I want to get to know you or whatever. She said, if this man is still interested in you after a year and a half, you better give him your number. And I said, really? And so I was like, okay. And I gave him my number. And I was so scared to have this first conversation with Joe. But he texted me. He like, yo, this is Joe. Save my number so that you know if I call you, it's me. But the first conversation, it was just like, oh, like I felt like I knew this guy for forever. But anyway, that's our story. There's more to it, but I'm going to leave it at that.
All right.
So Joe, did you all win that game? Because it seems like you were distracted.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, we won that game.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, cool. I just want to know, you know. Just,
it was WNBA versus NBA, and they was playing like they was really in the NBA.
Oh, okay.
I'm just trying to get that too.
I just want to make sure if I lost that game, then finally the truth comes out here. Now, the teammates know it's Joe's fault that y'all lost. But
so was y'all dunking on the women like that though? Was y'all dunking
we were none of us was that athletic.
He said,
"Hey, when you know what you want, you go after it, blood. You go after it."
Thank God for his persistence.
Where would I be?
And we gotta acknowledge Apostle Darling saying there's a DM ministry floating around on this.
There's an anointing in the DM. There's an anointing.
Brothers, the DMs, brothers. It works.
It's a blessing and a curse in the DMs.
Right. Don't DM everybody. You gotta know. You gotta know that you know.
Sam, you have a unique opportunity. You tell your story without the
without really.
Yep. And I locked my office door too, so she can't like break in here or nothing and like scream at me and yell at me about anything I say. So,
sleep too.
I got an air mattress. We be cool.
You got to be careful, man. You didn't make it past one yet.
We had this for life, Joe. We locked in. It was the word of the Lord. Give it up. We locked in. So I met Lo, what was it, 2017 at my best friend's birthday party. And she came in and said hi to everybody. I said hello. And then I left, right? End of the story. So a couple of days later, I asked my friend, I said, who's that girl, that dark-skinned girl who came in? Like, she was cute. I ain't never seen her before. Who was that? And so she told me, gave her info or whatever. I sent her a friend request on Facebook. We became friends. And then I actually slid in her DM.
See?
And, from there, after a lot of persistence, she finally, gave me the time of day, gave me a couple of dates. And then the rest is history. I do want to share one of my early Valentine's Day DMs to her, and I think this is the one that got her. So
yeah,
I used that. I was at work, like I was like, man, I need to send this girl something. It's Valentine's Day. She ain't giving me no play. She ain't trying to talk to me or nothing. I need to do something. Lo and behold, on Spotify, look at that. The Migos help me to get a date. So,
bro, you gotta rap it for us, please. Please rap it for us.
I'm not rapping it out. You're not gonna embarrass me on the first episode.
Bro, this is you rekindling that date. Logo, you open that door and Logo be like, I remember that tear.
Oh my God.
I can't spell.
Maybe she may not agree. And then like a couple years later, we're married now, and yeah. So it started with a DM slide for me too.
That's what's up.
A lot of DMs too, because like Joe, she wasn't giving me the time of day.
No time.
Man.
Let's try to make sure it's right, you know? Like if I could say no the first couple times and you gone, then that means, you know, like you said, you know what you like, you know what you want. So
yeah, but you know, I'm like, I'm cool. I think I sent her like some scriptures and stuff. You know, I was like, I was real.
You better just
there with it.
She said, "Why he's sliding?"
Oh no, we started in the comments. Well, so like I said, me and Jackie are representing the singles. We're like really, really good friends. This is like, I would consider her my best friend.
Oh,
don't quit, cut it out. We don't do mushy stuff here. That is not allowed in my abode. But no, like I think me and Jackie, we grew up around each other, but we never really knew each other until like, when was that? 3-4 years ago when you came to my show? 4 years ago?
Yeah, 4.
Yeah, and like she came to my show with Allison, and you know, I was like, oh man, who's this? You know, and we went to the church like all the time, but like I don't realize, like I really don't look at people at church because like I have history at the church. And you know, I was like, man, I ain't doing you know, no more history at church. But I think we tried to date.
Yeah,
we tried and it didn't work because it was destined for friendship. Say that again.
You got on my nerves.
That's what all my friends say, so it's a thing. But no, it was one of those like really like mature conversations that we both had. We was like, look, you know, I think we're better off as friends, and we have been really, really good friends ever since. Like she's the one that taught me off a lot of ledges and out of a lot of bad situations. She's like, that girl you talk to, nope, she trash. And then this one's like, she might be the one, and then you know, didn't move away, but. That's another story. But yeah, friendships, like really deep friends. Like you have another half of that story?
Of what?
Of our friendship.
Our friendship?
Yeah. Nope. Okay.
No.
I should have gotten someone else to do on this show. We got somebody else on this show.
In my bed.
Whatever.
I could have stayed in the house.
So we fight like brothers and sisters, which is hilarious because she don't even fight like brothers and sisters like that.
I do.
Okay, I don't see it.
What made y'all? What was the conversation that made y'all say? What was the conversation that y'all say? We need to just be friends.
Say what?
Huh?
What happened that made y'all say we need to just be friends? You see her do those thing draws.
Why would she see that? Why would she see that, Jaques? What is this premarital sex?
I don't know. She went to your bathroom and you forgot to draw. She's
hanging around on the couch. You know what I'm saying? Like this with the cat. I don't know what looks like.
Oh, it went off for you.
Oh yeah, she sent me these long text messages.
It was one long.
It was. I had an Android at the time, so it came through as like 15 text messages.
Part 1, part 2.
I was just like, I'm over it, and yeah, it was just like one of those like, look, okay, it was just one of those like,
yeah.
Anybody that know me, if I say look okay, that means something is coming to a close. It may be a job, it may be a song, but that is it was just like one of those like, I think we're better off as friends, and we've been getting along pretty well after that. So it's just like that's you know, you got to know where your relationships are, lie at and stay in that happy place.
Right.
So
that's maturity.
Yeah.
My brother also said, Spanky said she had too many brothers. It is a lot of us, actually.
Yeah,
she has 5 brothers.
Y'all don't.
But we like Spanky. We might go to like jump Spanky.
Y'all, I mean, all y'all.
Nah, I love I love her whole family though. Like I get along with everybody. Like
You do,
yeah. I get along with her family sometimes more than a lot of other people's families. So,
but they would have jumped you.
And they feed me too, so I'm all about it.
Man, they would have jumped him. What?
Yeah, they would.
We would have jumped Spanky.
They would have had to.
Doodle draws. Yeah, doodle draws.
You left your doodle draws on your couch. Nah. It's only one of her brothers that I'm really, really concerned about. He looked like he carried a bunch of guns on him. And everybody know who that is.
Oh, Jonathan?
He's scared of Jonathan.
Now, I know John's weakness.
I know John's
I know his weakness.
kryptonite.
But yeah, moving on. We're gonna so how did you know that she was the one? Like Joe, how did you know that she was worth the 1.5 years of pressure?
I didn't think I knew that she was the one until we actually started like having conversations. She when we started talking, I started to see how she carried herself, right, and how focused she was on not only her career but on the things of God. Like that is what sealed it for me, because I had dealt, with females in the past. I was coming out of a relationship before I met her, and I thought that was the one, but it turned out it wasn't. And my parents knew, but they was like, "Nah, we're gonna let you walk down this path so you can learn from it." But when I started talking to her, man, it was just like, wow, I could see myself with her. I couldn't see myself with the one I was with, but when we started talking, I could see myself with her. And then she just started to like speak, to the man I couldn't see, right? She started to speak to my potential and my future, and that it built me up, because I was in a real dark place in that season of my life. And just speaking to her, it like gave me life, and it pretty much gave me a reason to live. And that was it for me. And then when I came to visit, I came to visit for Christmas one year, and when we walked into the kitchen, man, there was a spread, and I was like, "Yep, I am getting a ring when I get back to Orlando." This is a wrap. She could cook. She loved the Lord. She got her own money. Let's go. So that was it for me.
Got her own.
She got her own.
Beautiful.
How did y'all know?
I saw that booty. I was like, this is not.
It's not even funny.
We
real on this show. We real over here.
We were long distance, and she we were talking on the phone, and we were just like fall asleep on the phone. And, we kind of like we had like a lot of similarities. Me being from Gary, she was telling me how she's Chicago. I was like, oh dang. I was like, okay, Liberty. I was like, I know about Liberty. Yada yada. I was living in Tennessee at the time, and we would fall asleep on the phone, and we were just. I was like, dang, I really like this girl. I really. And when we see each other, I'll be so happy to be around. I clean up my house real good. That's why I knew I was like, this is the one. And then one time she would just send me clothes and send me like what was those daily words from the church. She just sent me that. Okay. Just like Joe, I was in a dark place too. I wasn't quite as in a dark place, but I was in a place where I and I remember when we broke up, this is when I really knew she was the one. I was like, all right, God. We got back together. And I came to see her. I was like, all right, God. If she the one, it'll feel like we never broke up. But if she ain't the one, it'll feel like Spanky and Jaques. And so
under the bus.
And so when she saw me, she just gave me a big hug. And I was like, okay, God, that's the one. And so I was like, all right, I'm about to move back up here. And I moved up here, and we just got closer and closer, and I was like, man, this the one right here. That's how I know.
That's good. Audrey, can you tell us how you knew Joe was the one?
So I had read this book, and I'm writing. Eventually this will be in my book, but I'm gonna just share. I read a book called The Fourth Dimension by Dr. Paul Young Chu. Anyway, he was just talking about the reason why Christians don't get their prayers answered is because they're not specific enough. And so in the book, he was talking about, write a list. And it was this woman in this book in particular. I'll try to go fast. But she was praying for her husband, been single for years and years and years. And so Dr. Paul was like, well, write your list. What do you want? You asking God for this husband is a million different men. What do you want? And, so on, et cetera. So I read that and I was like, man, that stuck with me. So I wrote a list. And I really thought about it. I was like, Dad, what would be the guy that would really make me happy, that I would just, love? Like, I was like, shoot, it's God. I can ask for a fairy tale. I can ask for the man that I really want. So I sat there and I wrote a list, and I didn't know it was this fast after I met Joe, but it was 3 months after I wrote that list. I can't lie to you all. But I wrote this list, and when I finally answered or gave him my number and he called me, the Holy Spirit was like, go get that list. After I had talked to him the first time. And I went and got the list, and I start checking stuff off the list, y'all. And I was like, yo, this is crazy. I said, I think I'm just too hyped because this is the first guy that I talked to in freaking 6 years. I said, maybe, this ain't it. And I was like, God, I need you to show me, so I said, I know you the list, right? I didn't check everything off, but I need you to show me again. Then I had a dream, and he had walked in and threw a pink garland on my arm. This is the second day of me talking to Joe. Of course, I took it to my spiritual father, and I was like, so this is the deal. This is what's happening. He like, what? You talking to a guy, so on, et cetera, right? You know how Apostle is. And so he was like, what, you talking to this guy? And I was like, yeah. He was like, well, who is he? And I told him. And so thank God he knew Joe, he knew his family and everything. But anyway, he was just like, calm down, just take your time, calm down. But in the dream, I saw Apostle in my dream, and he smiled as if he knew. So anyway, I knew in my heart that this was my husband at that point. And that's just how I knew. I just was kind of waiting and playing the thing out. And that's probably why the Lord had me speaking life, because I kind of knew a little bit. So anyway, just from that.
Oh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. Alex.
No.
Very.
For me, honestly, I did not know. I was very unsure because of just my past. So I definitely talked to God about it and everything, and all God would tell me is just trust me. Kept telling me that, and I'm like, God, I know, but I need particulars. I need this. I need that, and He just constantly told me. And as our relationship progressed, I continued to ask God, and He continued to tell me, trust me, trust me. And then, because in my mind, I was just like, okay, but he lives in Tennessee. I live here. I don't know how this situation gonna work, with. And when Jaques decided to move back here, that's when I knew, okay, so we probably gonna really be going further than what I assumed. In addition to, I had got a word about my husband, and honestly, it went to the back of my head because it was kind of, I'm the type of person that likes to figure things out. Exactly. So the prophecy, I thought it meant one thing. Oh, because it was like, okay, he's gonna do this and he's gonna do that, and he's gonna be from here. He's not from here. That's what they told me. He's not from here. So I'm like, oh, he's not from America. And anyway, God just started to just remind me of that word I received, and I was like, oh, okay, not from Chicago. I get it, God. So, once he moved here, that's kind of when I was like, okay, this is gonna be further than just a hey boo thing.
Alex was looking for a Coming to America. Her Prince.
What? I wasn't.
Prince of Keys.
Right there,
Yes.
I'm so happy to be here in America.
This is what you let you know.
I'm in love. No. These are some beautiful stories. Sam, I mean, like you're not excluded from this. Like we have 3 young married couples on here. Like we, well, 3, 2.5. Low. Side eye you super hard.
She right here.
Yo, Derek, chill, man.
We side eye you real hard. Just know. She gonna
She's fine.
Be so hard.
Look, I don't. I knew Lo was the one, right? Because I got clear and vivid confirmation of that. Like I said, I had been chasing her for the longest. She wouldn't give me the time of day or nothing. And then eventually, she was like, "Okay, cool, yeah, we can hang out, we can date some and whatever." And I remember I was praying, and I said, "Okay, God, look, I'm tired of just being single, right, and just going from woman to woman." And I was really like invested in her. Like when I mean she wouldn't give me the time of day. It was bad. Like I remember we were dating then. This was like early on. She took me on a date to break up with me.
Wow.
This was the wildest thing ever, yo. And like it's hilarious to me because I was like, yo, that's really clever. I've never thought about that. Like this is really good. And so like she took me out on a date to break up with me. And I still couldn't like shake her, right? Like I still cannot shake her. And nobody knows this story except for us. So she's probably in the other room, kicking and screaming and waiting to beat me up. But it is what it is. That's out there. Because she didn't come on the show. Oh, here she comes, knocking on the door. You gotta wait now. Sorry. You're waiting to the end of the show.
Open that door. Open that door.
I will open the door. Is your head done? Because I know she ain't good on camera if her hair ain't done. Put on the hat, baby. Come back in 5 minutes. So look. So fast forward a couple years later, we was in a relationship, and I was praying, and I was like, legit, you got to make this plain because I don't want to waste no more time. I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste her time. Like I can cut it off, and be on my way. And that Sunday, I came to church, doing my regular Sunday routine, working in the booth, chilling, everything good. We had a special guest speaker, Bishop Senegal was there, and he called me out from the booth. And then the first thing he asked me was, "I'm married?" And I'm like, "No." And then he went forth with the word and pretty much confirmed that she was the one for me. I had been feeling it, but I was like, okay, God, I need you to say something to me. Because throughout the whole process, I wasn't hearing anything from God. Like, he wasn't talking to me at all. It was like, okay, Jesus, I'm over here fighting for this, and you ain't going to tell me nothing. You just going to be quiet. And he made it clear as day. And then maybe a couple weeks later, I got another word after that to confirm it as well. And these weren't just like, oh, you're going to be married, man of God. This is what she's going to like. No, they called her name. And then we got married September 26th of 2020.
Word.
And Lo became my best friend because she made Sam do the show the weekend he got married. She would not let him get off the show.
The day after our wedding, she made me do the show. That's real.
She knew my heart because I was like, I can't do this by myself, Lord.
You could have got Jackie. Jackie would have did the show. I tried.
Jackie's no longer here. Oh man, I'm gonna get beat up after this. Like she fights. It's
hard.
It wasn't even hard.
I got a bruise.
Right. I'm sensitive, man. I ain't seen people in the year, so I ain't got no arm punches and no, hey, how you doing? Like, all it's tender now. Man, these are some beautiful, beautiful stories. Like, I'm inspired as a single person. Like, I'm praying that someone slides in my DMs. The Lord calls their name to be. Please don't slide.
No,
in my
you
DMs.
don't. Cause look, those are the worst conversations after that. People are like, oh, Sam, because I'm real low key. Like my family knew, but that was it, right? And so people out of the woodwork, oh, Brother Sam, so you got a girlfriend? What she look like? How tall is she? What church she go to? She love Jesus? Does she not love Jesus? It was the worst. People I never talked to. And then after I got married, they stopped talking to me then too. So,
Well, that's a good question because we all came out, we're in the church. And when people find out that you're courting in church, they try to give you unwarranted advice. And, so how did you guys navigate those things? Whoever shall.
In one ear, out the other.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I don't think we.
Yeah.
I mean, people that are telling me not to move. Yeah.
Oh,
My bad, Joe.
Yeah.
I told you not to move. I'm joking.
In the comments, you was like you graduated on the 31st when it was on the plane on the 1st.
Yeah, bro.
Yes.
I was my graduation was October 31st, and I remember because I told my dad, I was like, "Yo, I'm moving to Philly," and he was like, "For what?" I was like, "To be with my soon-to-be wife," and he was like, "You really gonna move?" And I was like, "I've been talking about this all year." I was dead serious. I was like, "I bought the ticket," and I graduated that Friday.
Wow.
She came to the graduation, and we flew back to Philly the next day together.
Wow.
Like I was not playing games. One, if she had to move, number one, I just didn't feel right with her having to.
Apostle wasn't.
Yeah,
Like,
Apostle Early
he don't
wasn't having
release
it
his,
either. Yeah, he don't release his daughters like
No, he
that.
don't.
Yeah, but and I wanted a different location, and I understood what the scripture said. A man leaves his mother and father's house and cleaves his wife, and it worked out. And I remember Apostle told me, because I had asked him, Apostle Turner, he had told me, he was like, JoJo, he was like, blessings are tied to location. He was like, so wherever you go, God will bless the location and he'll provide. He was like, but I feel like Philly is the right place. And yeah. And like I had came to visit and I listened to Apostle Early teach, and I was like, I need this. I was like, this is where I need to be. So it wasn't even just because of, my wife. It was the teaching. Like I needed the ministry to live. And I don't regret the move. It was actually beneficial for me, because I think if I had stayed, I don't think nothing would have worked out if I had stayed. So I was gone. I was gone. That was the saddest ride to the airport. I was in the back seat tearing up, like I'm really about to do this.
But Florida is a retirement city. I mean, like it's too slow for me.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't have had no problem with moving because it's nice weather, it's whatever, but it's too slow. So it's a lot more on the east side going on. So see, the blessings was in the location, like he said.
And career wise, like if you're really trying to make money, I mean, like praise God for Florida. No shade if you live there, but I wasn't feeling it after a while, so I had to get up and go.
I feel that. You was rubbing your hands like some type of drug deal. If you really want to make some money.
Yeah, man, if you really want to make some money, man, I got church CDs for the low, you feel me?
So Alex, how did you navigate the unwarranted comments and stuff like that?
I can't remember any at this moment, because that was a while ago. But I tend to pretend I'm listening and kind of let it go on one and out the other. So I give it to people like, "Oh, okay, thank you." I don't listen to unnecessary, unwanted advice. So
Alex definitely taught me how to do the smile and nod. Like she's been doing it for years. But how did it go when Jaques, when you first came to Liberty?
You asking me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I said Jaques. That's your name.
Well, you know what?
Oh, tell them the truth about how you didn't like it.
I always tell people that. I don't care about
Okay, right. Well, I'm just saying.
What they gonna do? That ain't actually no secret. Anyway, when I came, God gave me a dream. How the church was gonna look, like brownish and stuff inside, and he was telling me about the dance people that she ministers. I mean, she's over, how they was gonna mess with me. all that happened. And then the first person I met was Brother Dwight.
Yeah.
And Brother Dwight, ever since then, you know, he mentored me. And he told Alex's mom to tell them to start getting ready for marriage counseling.
Right. Yeah, I think that's how I knew too, because he threw me off with that.
And I'm not done. Anyway,
Let's go back to the question. I forgot about that. Go ahead.
The man gave me 2 pairs of Kenneth Cole shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
And he said he wanted to let me know that my footsteps are ordered by God.
Mm-hmm.
And ever since then, it was cool. Everybody treated me with love. I came to the early morning service, so nobody really got a chance to see who I was. And it was cool. I mean, yeah. I mean, if you want to talk about my church, how everybody was cool except one girl. She was trying to she was a white girl.
I mean, if you want to tell a story, we got some time. I mean, geez.
No, I ain't gonna tell it. Well, she was basically, she didn't like Alex from the jump. So.
Oh, you talking about? Oh, I have a whole. Y'all want to hear that story?
And,
I have a whole.
Other than that.
Okay.
Everyone else was cool. I mean, like I said, when I came to the church, I wasn't feeling it. I was coming from a church. It was a young church, young pastor.
Right.
Matter of fact, like New Life. It was just like that. It was just the southern part. And I came to this church and I was like, man, look all these old people, man. Yo, what's going on? I ain't want to do nothing. What's going on? So, then nobody really was in my ear, man. If they were, hey, unless they was, giving me some money or whatnot, they ain't got nothing to tell me.
Alex, you was about to say something and then Jaques cut you off.
Oh, as far as I forgot about this, but yes, Prophet Dwight, he had it was actually our first time meeting each other in person, right? When you came up here. Yeah. And then you came to church with me, early morning service. And Prophet Dwight was like, he gave him the shoes, and Jaques like, okay, thank you. Don't know him, right? And then he tells my mom, right, prepare for marriage counseling or whatever. And I was like, okay, Prophet Dwight, whatever. I'm like, we just getting to know each other. Like, I was not like, my mindset was not like that. I was just like, this is first time here. And so that kind of was confirmation. But like I said, I still didn't want to necessarily, I wasn't wanting to jump the gun like, yes, this is my husband. I didn't.
That was kind of the same with us, because we had dinner with Apostle Early and Pastor Rhonda before we got engaged, and he was like, "So what's stopping you?" He was like, "When do you graduate?" I was like, "October 31st." He was like, "So what's stopping you from having a winter wedding?" I was like, "Huh? We didn't even got that far yet." Like, so, but that was confirmation. I was like, I don't see no issue with us having a winter wedding. And then in my mind, I'm like, dang, where we gonna get this money from? Because I don't got it. But God worked it out, and it was a fast progression. Very fast. And I think that's what made some people start to question, like, oh, y'all moving too fast. I'm like, well, this is all God's timing. This definitely ain't us, because if it was up to us, we probably would have waited, a little bit longer. But it was right, like when that it's God ordained, why waste time? Just
right,
why waste time?
Right.
I remember Apostle when I was single before Joe was even in the picture. Apostle Turner, he had came to the church and he was like, I hear wedding bells, but he was like, I hear you talking to God and saying, well, he got to be like this and he got to be this and this and that and this and that. And Apostle was like, you got to relax. He said, you got to relax. I'm not telling you to lower your standards, but you have to relax a little bit. He said, God got them for you, just for you. And I understood what that just means, because he really was for me. But what I learned is, God is going to give you all that you ask for and more, but it ain't going to look like how you expect it to look. And you just got to be open for that. And so anyway, I almost missed it. But thank God I was on the phone with my cousin who helped me because I did. I almost missed the opportunity to be with this man, this awesome man. I really did turn him down for a year and a half, y'all. But by the way, let me just give you a picture. It wasn't like he was in my DM and I was like, oh, I don't want to talk to you. It wasn't like that. It was like, he asked me for my number in the beginning. And I said, I just feel comfortable with us just talking on Facebook. You can hit me up on Facebook. We could talk here. I don't feel comfortable giving you my number yet. And that's how it went. And so it would just be like every time he would know my little green light was on, I guess, on Facebook. And I'd be like, how is it that he know every time I get on? And we built a friendship from there. And then he asked me again, thank God. And so anyway, I just wanted to fill that in because he wasn't like stalking.
Yeah, I wasn't stalking.
With the
That
creep.
still sound like he was.
It's all a little stalkerish, Joe. Nah, it works though, Joe.
It's still do.
He utilized the online
She on like he got
I wasn't like boy from you though. You know what I'm saying?
everything.
That was probably back when Facebook was like really like bad with the notifications. They'd be like the big boing when people were like,
Doom. Like
You couldn't wait.
notification set. Man, these are awesome stories. But the one thing that we're getting out of all these stories is one being open and receptive to hearing God in these situations. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to be just sensitive to hearing God. We were talking about that at Sunday school today. But how did you guys get open enough to hear from God? Like I know you guys were praying about it. So y'all got some pretty clear signs that this was your spouse and what's the question I'm looking for? Help me, Jackie. You're not even paying attention.
I am here. What question are you trying to ask?
I don't know. I lost my question.
I think he was getting along the lines of you talked about being open to hearing God. So what made you in that moment open? You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes we'll be doing things, but we're still not receptive to what God is saying, right? And we're not paying attention. So what made you pay attention? I guess is the big question. I got smacked in the face with words, and so after I had prayed, so that made me pay attention because it was clear as day. So what made you all pay attention to what God was actually saying to y'all?
You know what? Just like you, Sam, I got a prophecy from Bishop Senegal. And he had basically said that it was going to happen. And he said, since November, since you made that decision, because we got engaged in November, I just knew. And my ex, it was like she was bringing even more trouble in my life. And that's kind of, it sounds crazy, but that's how I knew. I was like, okay, God, this must be something, because the enemy really trying to, because she ain't never came this hard to try to destroy me. And I'm like, all right, God, well, this you, and just to add, I remember when she had said the first time we saw each other, I was driving, so it was a 7-hour drive, and I said, Lord, I ain't got time for no games. I've been through too much. I said, if this ain't the one, don't allow me to go down here. Don't let me come up here. Let the car break down or something like that. And every time we got closer, I was just like, all right, God, I ain't got time to be playing no games. Let me know, cause I ain't got every time, and just to add, like Joe, he was saying how he soon as he got graduated, he moved up there, and I remember I was on probation. And I ain't got no problem telling that testimony. And I remember when I was on probation, I was ready to move. And I told God, I'm ready to move. And I said, and I was just talking to the Holy Spirit about it. And I was like, because if you're on probation, if you do move out the state, you can only live with a family member that doesn't have any criminal history. And, because I was a drug dealer. I was banging, I was murdering. I was just like, no. I was like, that's the question. No, but so I was asking the Lord. I said, Lord, if it's meant for me to move up here, I get clarification that is and soon I lie to you not. I lie to you not. As soon as I say that prayer, my probation officer called me and said, so when you're moving, I was like, okay, God. I lie to you not. I was like, okay, God. Because it was like I just really wanted to be sure.
Yeah.
I didn't want to walk in flesh. I didn't want to walk in my emotions. I wanted to make sure this is God, yo. Like, so.
That's real.
Yeah.
Real quick, Joe and Audrey, didn't y'all get a word from Bishop Senegal too?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, look, Bishop Senegal. It's the reason for our marriages.
It was the August before I graduated.
Wow.
He called me out.
2014.
Yeah, 2014. I was like, me? He was like, yeah. You know, he same thing. Are you married? I was like, we engaged. You know, and he was like, then he went through his spiel. He was like, I'm getting married in December. When y'all getting married? I was like, for real? What? Then he pointed to Joseph Prue. He was like, his name is Joe Prue. What's your name? And I'm like, what? This is crazy. Then he was like, Apostle Darling, what's your friend name that you said looked like my wife? Is like Audrey or something. And then he was like, I hear her Audrey, and I was like, ah. And you know, he went to deliver the word of the Lord. You know, because I had questions. I was like, man, you know, I was nervous. I was like I'm excited to get married, but at the same token, like, am I gonna live up to her expectations? And he pretty much just gave me the word of the Lord to encourage me, like, you know, God got you. You know, money will be the least of your concerns. He was like, you know, you struggle with wondering if, you know, you'll be able to be the man that she needs. God got you. Everything that he has set for you is in place. And then, you know, and at that moment I was like, okay, cool. Settle my heart. And I think that's what made me want to move that quick. When I graduated, I was like, all right, Bishop Senegal said this, it's time. There's no time to waste. So when I got that word, I was like, got it, God. I got it. Let's go for it.
We had a question from Apostle Darling. Can we put that back up there?
That was a good question.
Yeah.
What is the biggest hurdle you both had to overcome to be one? We'll start with Joe and Audrey's. Jaques had the thought face on.
I'm gonna text Laura and get her answer from her.
The biggest hurdle to become one.
Now, to become one, is that like to be in synchronization in the marriage, or is that literally when we got married, what was the biggest hurdle?
Let's tackle both. Let's do both.
Okay, so I'll say our biggest hurdle and something we still kind of work on is just the communication. And I think we came a long way. Like our first year was, man, we used to have showdowns on the
verbal showdowns.
Y'all be gunslinging in Philly.
Over the littlest stuff. It was juice. So he didn't know how to share. And so I would buy a big thing of juice. And he would drink the whole thing down within like 1 or 2 days. And I'd be like, did you not realize that I didn't have not one cup of the juice? You know, like just different things like that. So like, I would say communication was a big thing for us. It was hard. And then on top of the communication, we had like car accidents, surgeries, you know, all type of stuff happening. He almost lost his eyeball. On a job, he turned around in the what was it, the metal thing?
Yeah, I walked into it.
The old clothing lines. He walked into it and then it split his eye. Oh, it was just a whole lot going on the first year. But more, you know, the biggest hurdle I would say is just communication and actually hearing the person.
Right.
For me, just being in a moment, you know, because I'll be there listening, but it'll be so many other things that my mind is thinking about that I realized I wasn't listening to Joe, you know, as much as I could have. So I think that was from my end, communication.
Yeah, same thing, communication. And like you said, like actually hearing and listening to each other. I think for me, coming in. Like what was big was like trying to how am I trying to phrase this?
Don't get in trouble now.
like trying to understand what she needed emotionally from me. Not like navigating through that. That was huge, because you come from being single and it's just you and casual girlfriends where you don't got to really expend as much emotional energy to stepping into a whole relationship where now you got to give a lot of emotional energy. Like honestly, it was weird and it was a struggle. And sometimes she would have her moments or whatever. She would shut down. I would shut down. So like, all right, you don't want to talk. I don't want to talk. And sometimes we would go, like days not addressing the issue, and that stuff will pile up on each other. And then mix it together with lack of finances. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't have a job, I always had odd jobs, but I didn't have a full-time job like the first 2 years. So mashing all that together, it was just a lot, like intermingling our personalities, like, figuring out what one person liked, or, just that whole communication piece was trying to understand how she liked to be communicated to versus how, I'm used to communicating. That was really big. But like she said, we've gotten, oh my God, so much better. We're not there yet, but from year 1 to year 6, I hear a lot of couples that say, a lot of couples don't, get it in that time frame. So glory be to God. But it's a process every day, and every day we're growing and learning each other every day.
Yeah, no, that's definitely thing, and that's one thing. Like I've learned, like been doing a lot of singles things on Clubhouse, and one thing that communication is the same thing in the singles realm too. So it's just like learning to listen to understand versus listening to respond.
Right.
That's going to carry you a long way.
That used to prolong arguments. You know what I mean? Like I would get in defensive mode. You know what I'm saying? Like now I'm trying to defend myself as opposed to listening to understand what I did that upset her, or what I didn't do, or what I didn't say, or how I said it. So learning that too was like key for me. I want to speak for myself.
I was going to say it also helped, and they saying it in the chat by Kaj and Felicia. We did this marriage counseling with Apostle, our church, and it talked about the 5 love languages, and so that helped us to understand like how does one interpretate love. You know what I'm saying? Because you could give this person gifts and all of that, but if their love language is verbal affirmation, then that's what you got to understand, that you got to tell them that you love them and stuff in order for them to feel like they are loved. Mm-hmm. And that was super important to understand that. And guys, like communicating how you feel is also very important, in a marriage. And I would say Joe opened up a whole lot more because I guess in his mind, he's like, I don't want to share how I feel because I care about how you feel. So I want to make sure you good. When I'm like, no, I want to know how you feel. How do you really feel about this situation? And he wouldn't open up. But now he does open up and say how he feels, and that makes the communication a lot better. So guys, open up.
That helps.
For real.
Especially when, like,
let them get them.
I'm gonna pass the baton to Jaques and Alex.
Man, it's Tuesday.
I agree with the communication. Our biggest issue to overcome as far as becoming one is communication, but for us, it's learning each other's communication styles, because I talk and I talk and I talk
Shut up,
and I talk. I can be quiet. When I'm comfortable, I talk and I talk and I talk and I talk. And for Jaques, if I'm trying to get my point across, right? But for Jaques, I've recently, and we're about to be 5 years in in the summer. I've recently learned that I can't talk and talk and talk. I can't give Jaques this whole entire speech because he will not hear most of that. And so what I'm learning to do, I'm very direct, but what I'm learning to do is be very direct and short with what I'm trying to say and not overwhelm him. Because in the past, and then I become frustrated, and then I'm angry because he didn't hear anything I had to say, or he's not understanding how I'm feeling. No, it's because I'm overwhelming him with my conversation. And so now I've learned to not do the speeches. Something else that has really, and I know it might be a little weird, but sometimes we text. Like, especially after an argument, instead of us like talking face to face, we'll be in the same house and we will text because I'll say, hey, this made me feel this way, because it gives a pause in the conversation for us to respond and for him to understand maybe how I felt and me to understand him better. And so that's been one of the biggest hurdles, in addition to, because I got married at a later age. I got married when I was 36. I was used to being single.
You was 37.
37. It was 2016. I was 36.
Oh.
Anyway,
She was 36. Jaques agree with her.
I was used to being single, and I was used to being by myself. And so I really had to change, like, just the process of the way I think about things, because I had been single for so long, like, and by myself for so long. So the meshing of the two was just like, it was a little more, and I don't know if it was like that for Jaques.
What?
Because he's 5 years younger than me, but still he had been married before. I don't know if it was like that, but for me, it was very difficult because I was just used to being by myself, having my own space, not really having to have all the, this is Amir, he's busy. Not really having to deal with really the feelings of someone else, like, because they live in your house, like you see them all the time. So those are two of the biggest hurdles that we're working on still, but we're overcoming now. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh yeah,
we're better than we used to be.
Way better, because
it was crazy. It was crazy.
Communication was communication, and Alex, she got a lot of emotions, so yeah, I'm gonna just keep it real.
Period.
If I got mad because of my past and just who I am, I don't like all that fighting, all that arguing and stuff like that. If we get in a big argument, I would leave and go to my mom and dad's house and be gone for a day or two. And that was it wasn't no 3 days. It definitely wasn't no 3 days. And I didn't like all that arguing. And like she said, she would talk to me, and it was like, after a while, she tell me, "Oh, I don't like when you put your shoes right here." And then I'm like, "Okay, I hear that." And then after that, she's like, "And I'll tell you why. Once upon a time, chapter 1." I heard you. So many. So I had to let her know, like, "Hey, babe, you can't tell me everything like that." Because I wasn't good when it came to reading in school. I just wanted to know what happened. Tell me what happened, and we good. And and with me, I didn't express how I felt. I was just really like, all right, whatever. And she told me like it was something she told me to make me say, okay. So I would start letting her know, like, hey, baby, yeah, will you do this, and that? And then she was like, oh, I didn't know. I was like, yeah. But she probably didn't know because she was talking for hours. And
we're talking at all.
I mean, you were with a conversation.
No,
I was like,
don't try to play me. Do not talk.
But I think one of the biggest hurdles was just me knowing how to fight without, and when I say fight, like arguing, of course, and without me saying, okay, I'm done with this and I'm leaving. I would. This is a marriage, because my first marriage, it was just like, this is an agreement. We got a child. Let's get married. I didn't know it took all this communication in in a marriage. To be honest, I just really didn't. I didn't really understand women. It was more of a be with a woman. That's it. She was just like. So that was one of the biggest hurdles. Just learning how to argue without leaving. For me.
Jaques, I have a question for you. Mm-hmm. As the fellow man that was previously married, how did you overcome that guard of having like that past marriage and the bad stuff that happened there, or the whatever happened there? How did you overcome that in this new marriage?
You know what, Spank? I'm gonna be honest with you. That took a lot of prayer, man, and a lot of maturity. I really, I had to see who I was and who God was doing that, because to be honest with you, my first marriage that was not good. It ended bad. So when it like, first of all, the marriage wasn't good. So when the divorce ended bad, it was like, oh heck no, you ain't about to do me like these others. I was like, all right. And I had to really pray, man. I had to, and I'm talking about in the marriage, I had to really pray and seek God. And I seek counseling for myself. And I was like, and God will have to show me, like, this is my child. She's not going to do, like, I had to realize that she loved God. So she's not going to do me the way other women did. Because the first marriage, it was so bad. And Spank, not only the first marriage, my relationship I had a long time ago in high school. So I was already kind of messed up years ago. So that, man, and it still takes praying. Sometimes you wanted something new like that, and this is no disrespect. Sometimes you look at women the same. And I would say, okay, yeah, she's doing the same thing as my ex. And that guy, like, yeah, I mean, she a human though, but she ain't. And God would have to show me so much. So it was more praying, man.
Yeah. No, definitely. Like, triggers are real. Like,
yeah,
I'm finding out in the dating world is like, and that was like early in becoming single. It was like I would find myself being triggered often.
Man.
As soon as I found those triggers, those are the things I would take to my counselor and into counseling and get like clarity on it. Then, even with that, I would take it to prayer too and be like, God, take this away. I don't want to feel this way when this happens. So it was like helping me pinpoint, those triggers. So no, that's definitely a real thing. Sam, you had a question?
Nope, I'm just agreeing. Yeah, it's important to deal with our triggers and our insecurities. Because men have just as many insecurities as women do. We just don't really talk about them as much because it's not popular. Like, men aren't supposed to have emotions. They're not supposed to, feel any type of way. They're just supposed to roll with the punches, and it is what it is. And so a lot of men get into relationships, including me. I have to try to figure out, how do I deal with my insecurities and still, be there for this woman. And that was something I had to figure out. I had to learn how to be understanding of Lo and her background and where she was at and her walk and just in general. And that was something that was really big. And then I think one of the biggest hurdles I had to go through was one of her friends. I don't know why this lady ain't like me, but she ain't like me for whatever reason. I never met the girl. I never did nothing to her. I was always nice to this lady, but for some reason, she did not like me, But we got married. She was at our wedding. She didn't speak to me at our wedding either. That's why I was like, okay, look. I wanted to ask, like, what did I do to you, lady? Did I step on your toe? Did I say your shoes were ugly? Like, what did I do? Because I'll tell people if their clothes are ugly, if they ask. But, like, I'm like, what did I do to her? But that was something I had to get past and be like, look, it is what it is. I know who I want. I'm not going to let anybody else, even try to get in her head about certain things, especially, I'm not going to get into that, but especially bitter people. And so, that's a hurdle that a lot of people have to overcome, blocking out the naysayers, blocking out the people who are going to just talk bad about relationships or what you're doing, because either they don't understand it or that they've been hurt, right? And so because they've been hurt or because of whatever, they'll try to down talk you or they'll try to get you out of your space or where you need to be at. And that's something, you know, that has played that a lot of us go through, right? And that's something that we have to be cognizant of in all our relationships. You know, are these people really in my corner? You know, are these people really supporting me? And if they're not, you have to be able to say, okay, cool, look, you know, it was good while it lasted, but I can't have you around me no more. You know, family members, friends, whoever, you know, you have to make sure that you're doing the right thing. And if you're doing the right thing, then it's nothing nobody else can tell you.
That's facts. And also, we want to just normalize men being able to express their feelings without judgment too. You know, like I feel like, you know, and that's our culture. Our culture has trained us, or we grew up in the culture of not allowing men to express their feelings without judgment. You know, or being called soft, or being called, you know, all the other derogatory terms that I won't say. But
No, I said right.
Right. So, you know, like we just got to normalize that, and then also normalize like counseling. It's okay to get help. We always want to just say that, you know, like sometimes you need more than prayer. Sometimes you need professional help, and sometimes you need help that is not spiritual. Right. Like, you know, pastors they can take you so far when it's a mental thing. Get somebody that's trained in that mental health thing, you know, and mental health is really important. And that's one thing like people have done in these marriages they still adjusted their mental health in the midst of it. Like Joe was like, hey, for my well-being, I need to be close to this woman as soon as possible. So he hopped the plane. He grabbed a diploma and a plane ticket and was gone. Like, probation officer, you said I could go? All right, I'm out. Boom, gone. You did best for you and best for both of you guys. You guys were showing sacrifice before you even got into the situation to having to sacrifice. You know, so like that, I admire that of you guys.
Can I say something, Frank and Sam? I left my sons in Tennessee, and so I knew I had to really pray about it. And like Alex said, God kept telling me, trust God and just trusting God. And I was like, and when the first 4 years I was here, I was like, man, this is a mistake. And I would get a prophecy like, this is a mistake. And I was like, I don't believe I made this sacrifice. And now I have custody of all my kids. Mm-hmm. And so I'm just, you know, I just see the timing of God, and I see the scripture says a man that findeth a wife find a good thing and obtain favor from God. And I just the fact that my kids, I'm thankful I got no. But you know I love you too, Mama. But I look at those, like you said, sacrifice. I'm like, man, I was glad I was obedient. Even though it seemed like a sacrifice, I was obedient. Mm-hmm. And like Joe said, I don't know where I would have been. I'm gonna be honest with you. If I never had left Tennessee like God told me to, I would have been home. I've been all over the, and I'm just keeping it real. And so I'm just thankful. No, I'm serious. I'm just thankful that I was obedient, and I just didn't sacrifice what I wanted to do. If that makes sense.
No, that's a real thing. Like when you're coming out of a marriage previously or a relationship, you're faced at a crossroad. You can either choose God or you can either choose whole life, you know, and you're faced with that choice. It's true. It's true. Because opportunities present themselves once people find out that you're available, you know? So it's just like, it's an opportunity to exercise your testimony too, you know? See how real of a Christian you really are.
Yeah. Are you for these streets or are you for Jesus? Which one?
Both.
Jesus
no.
I was kind of in a backslidden state when me and Dries was talking, because you know I was low key. I was.
I'm looking at this
But nah, I was like I said, I was in a dark place, man. Uh, Drinking to go to sleep, bad habits. And then I met her, and she was pretty much speaking into my life. I didn't have no money. It was sometimes she would, send me money to get something to eat for the week or whatever.
Wow.
That took a long time.
It did take a long time. It did take a
God
long
kept telling me no.
Yeah, he did. He did. And God was trying to teach me to depend on him and not people. And I remember, I would show up for church and like just random people would just be like, "Oh man, we went grocery shopping and I got like extra," and I'm like, "This ain't extra. This is like a lot." You know what I'm saying? So God was keeping me. But when I left, to come to Philly, I had a backpack. Like I literally, that's all I had. Backpack. Everything I could fit in my backpack, including my laptop, I was out. And I had one interview, right? But that interview fell through, and I didn't have no family member. I didn't have no connection in Philly, no family, nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm here by myself with my new wife, and man, God, He began to like just bless us so much so, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I found odd jobs, and He would keep me going until I got the gig where I'm at right now. And then also opening the door to become a business owner and a property owner, to own income property, like just to see like that progression. Like if I hadn't have left, you know what I'm saying? And like you said, Jaques, a man that finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor. Man, I got so much favor just from saying I do. And then also being obedient, like you said, being obedient, to God. And man, like I remember people was like, "Oh man, you getting married? Like, good luck." You know what I'm saying? You hear that from everybody. And like you said, Spank, is the bad experiences that a lot of people have had, and it leaves a sour taste in their mouth. But I believe that when you do it God's way, you know what I'm saying, it makes it that much better. And when you're with the right person, and Audrey was the right woman for me, right? And Alex is the right woman for Jaques, and Lo is the right woman for Sam, and God got the right woman for Spank. You feel me? Yeah. He got the right woman for Spank in the right season, and the right man for Jackie too. So
it ain't no.
Yeah. But nah, like we're all a testament. It just seemed like the three of us is all a testament of just making that sacrifice, and obeying God. So
no, and that's one thing. Like even Apostle Turner would say this when he married Apostle Darlin, is that she loved him back to life.
Right.
And,
yeah.
and you guys are examples of that still happening. So that's awesome.
Yep.
Well, I think it's time to wrap this up. We have exceeded our time.
This was a good show. This was a good show.
It is. I want to ask a question to Alex. Because you had children from a previous marriage, how was that integrating into your marriage? You got a couple minutes.
It's been a challenge as far as getting adjusted. And it's been a challenge for everyone, right? Mm-hmm. For Jaques, for me, for the kids.
Yeah.
Probably the only one that doesn't have to adjust is Amir. He's loving it right now. But yeah, and we're continuing to adjust. I know it's going to be a process. It's going to be I'm going to say lifelong process, but it's going to be a process. It's going to take some years for us to kind of find our, what's the word I'm looking for? Cohesion. I'll say that. Our cohesion, so to speak. Not trying to put our business out there, but can I say?
No,
so recently, all the kids, what's that one? Live with us now.
I told them that already.
Oh, you did? Oh, I missed that. And that's different. That's different because I was adjusted to, and I'm pretty sure they were too, just, a month or two. And then things will go back to, but now it's like, yeah. so it's different.
And she's doing an awesome job, man. Like
Some days I don't feel like I am. On top of the fact that I've just been introduced to virtual schooling. So that's fun. With a 2-year-old running around. That's
Hey, but as y'all were talking, I heard that song from that movie Blended. When one comes together.
okay.
But yeah, blended families are super dope. But yeah,
They are.
thank you guys for being on the show. Like we're super
you.
grateful to have you both.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for having us.
Taking time out of your busy Valentine's Day, Jaques. Y'all don't know Jaques missed rehearsal today because he said Alex and him was busy.
Oh, he missed rehearsal because he was not going to rehearsal on Valentine's Day.
Wow.
I feel you.
Well, truth.
He's
Truth
gonna
comes
be,
out.
he's gonna be the team single in the music ministry without for him too, because his wife would have got him too.
right.
Right. That's why I was like, nah, I don't think none of y'all married folks are gonna be at rehearsal. But.
Yeah, Fred, like he sent that message out today. He's like, I forgot it was Valentine's Day. Ain't no rehearsal today. It's like, wow. Okay, cool. But no, thank you guys for being on the show. We really appreciate you both.
Thank y'all.
Because y'all are one, so we saying you both. But don't leave once you get off the camera. Like we gonna, talk to y'all. We got parting gifts that are gonna be in the mail for forever and ever and ever.
Yeah.
Again, thank you, Jaques and Alex.
Sure.
Thank you, Joe and Audrey. We appreciate y'all.
Man, what a great show. I enjoyed all them peoples.
Yeah, it was a lot. There's a lot of people on here tonight. Thank you, Jackie. We didn't give you. Look at her.
Yeah, I'm going to get beat up. Y'all don't know, like I'm Jackie's punching bag.
Don't tell me that.
Okay. Did it just then. She admitted it. The whole world heard you. But we want to reiterate too. I hope everyone was blessed by this. If you were blessed by this, let us know in the comments. Hopefully you share, like, subscribe to the YouTube channel because we need your subscriptions.
We do. We need y'all subscription. Like us on Instagram.
Yeah.
Support.
But we have goals on this YouTube channel. We're trying to get monetized, so we need 1,000 subscribers. So so you share with 10 people, those 10 people share it, and so on and so forth, and we'll get to our goals in no time, y'all. Let's do it.
Yeah. Help us get to 1,000. And we'll send you a special offering. Or no, a gift.
A special
and then
gift.
What they do? Yeah, special gift.
We'll send you a token. We'll send you the LIN live pin that is being designed as we speak. Maybe.
Yeah, sure. Or I'll just email, our flyer to them. You can have it forever. Do whatever you want with it.
Again?
I said, do whatever you want with the flyer after that. I'll just send it to you. You could put it on your car or,
You share it, and you get a personal inbox with our flyer. We personally spam your inbox.
Yeah. That sounds like a great idea to me.
Bro,
who wouldn't want that?
I mean, to hear from us all the time. Also, we want to encourage you also to go buy your merch. Buy your merch. I
don't have my merch on, but it's somewhere.
So I was on this singles exchange event yesterday, and they were like, "We see your merch, but we didn't know you had stuff for women. We got stuff for women too. These hoodies,
women, men, boys, girls. We're gonna have some cat apparel, dogs,
birds,
fish. We get
hoodies for fish. They waterproof hoodies. Fish be dry and die. But yeah, we are so. And then also follow us on Instagram, LIN Live Official. Yeah. Like we want to hear from you. Like, cause we're gonna do a mailbox show we're gonna do a mailbox show. So if you have any burning questions that you want to ask me or Sam, like you want to get to know us a little bit better, slide in our DMs. There's power in the DMs. So slide in our DMs and put your questions there, and we'll get your questions on the show. Or you can put them live on the show, and we'll answer them there. But when is that show? Is that 2 weeks from now?
Yep, that show is 2 weeks from now, February the 28th. So the last day of Black History Month.
Right.
And also LIN Live. How beautiful is that?
Ultimate blackness with sharing. You know what I'm saying? We share.
I'm going to dashiki that show.
I'm going to wrap myself in a blanket and look like a dashiki. African plant blanket. But with that being said, like Sam, you have anything else? We have for all of our Liberty International Network people, we have our Leaders Congress coming up. On the weekend of the 25th through the 27th. You got to register on Eventbrite so you can get your seat. I will be speaking one of those days. I think it's the 26th at noon. You wanna learn some of the technology stuff that you're doing? I'll be speaking on that. So tune in, register. It's gonna be dope. And you see the lineup. It's crazy. All these people are insane. Like they know what they're talking about, and you're gonna learn so much really quickly. Is there any other announcements, producer Amina? Help us. No.
Do we got anything else to talk about?
Oh
yeah.
This is a national holiday, y'all.
Yeah. Next Sunday, we are celebrating the 60th great birthday of Apostle Lathan. She said 69 in the broadcast today, I believe. Her birthday is next Saturday, February 20th. But we will be celebrating her on February 21st with our guest speaker, Mother Judy Hines, one of my favorite people in the world, in the Liberty Chicago page. So I don't have any Apostle Lathan's giving info, but please, if you know how to give to her, please make sure you do that through Zelle, through Cash App. She has been amazing, nothing short of amazing for the network and just for us in general. So please make sure that you honor her in deed as well as word this week, because it's her birthday and she's been with us forever.
Yeah, so if you're not following the Liberty Temple Chicago Facebook page, all the information is on there. So go follow that page, and then follow the Liberty Temple Bolingbrook page, and then follow the Liberty Temple Philly West page, and then the Philly East page that's coming soon. Orlando, San Diego, individual pages, and all of the leadership is like super dope, and you want to get to know them individually.
Zion, Waukegan, Liberty Bahamas. I'm kidding.
I told you.
Las Vegas.
When they start Liberty Bahamas, I really want to. I'll move. I will willingly relocate to that location.
That sound bad.
Yeah, bro. Bahamas, warm weather, this snow
all year round. Yeah, look, it's been cold here and snowing, and then cold, and then snowing, and then cold, and then cold. This snowing.
I'm tired of snow. I'm tired of shoveling snow, and I'm tired of seeing it.
Me too.
Save me. Warm weather. But other than that, I think that is all. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for watching. On behalf of my co-host, Sam Samuel, and I got it right. Yes, Sam Samuel Anthony. I am Alfonso Spanky Jones. We love you. And we'll see you all next week.
It's LIN Live with Spank and Sam. It's a show for everyone, boy, woman, girl, and man. So tune in on Facebook and YouTube. Guaranteed to